After killing U.S. troops, is Iran now probing a weak link in the regional shield to try and kill Israelis as well? Is one of Washington's desperate Arab allies so unable to defend itself that it is now turning to Israel for crucial protection? Has Mojtaba identified the weakest spot in the U.S. air shield and launched a new attack through that vulnerable corridor? After a brief pause in the war, Israel now claims a fresh attack has taken place, signaling that the fighting has resumed. A drone strike attempt has been reported near Jordan just days after the deaths of U.S. troops, adding a new flashpoint to the conflict. The Israeli military intercepted 2 suspected drones near the Jordanian border and the Dead Sea, stopping them before they could hit their targets. According to a July 27 report in the Times of Israel, citing a military source, details of the incident emerged as officials shared preliminary information with the press. Israeli forces have launched a formal review of the suspected drone incident, examining how the aircraft approached and how the interception was conducted. As reported by Turkey Today, the interception was carried out as a joint operation between Israel and Jordan, reflecting close coordination along their shared frontier. Both sides confirmed that the aircraft were brought down before causing any casualties or physical damage on the ground. In an official statement, Israel said the exact origin of the drones was still unknown and under investigation. Jordan has already come under multiple missile and drone attacks amid the ongoing war between the U.S. and Iran. Those Iranian attacks have primarily targeted U.S. military facilities located on Jordanian territory. On July 17, Iran struck the U.S.-run Muwafaq Salti Air Base near Azraq in Jordan. At least 3 American troops were killed in that attack on the Jordanian air base. Another U.S. soldier was killed in Iraq in an uncontrolled detonation after that incident. Meanwhile, on July 23, Washington moved to lower the official U.S. death toll attributed directly to the Iran war. The U.S. government did this by removing 4 troops killed in Jordan from the formal Iran war tally. Officials now put the total number of deaths at 14, saying the latest fatalities came after a truce period, according to reports. The Strait of Hormuz remains the biggest flashpoint in the escalating confrontation between America and Iran, with tensions continuing to rise by the day. On July 26, the IRGC Navy claimed that 6 vessels were prevented from crossing the Strait of Hormuz during a fresh maritime operation. The IRGC further alleged that the halted vessels were issued a firm warning before being forced to remain anchored in the strategic waterway. This came as a senior Iranian official declared that the Strait of Hormuz remains firmly under the complete control of the IRGC Navy. An Iranian parliament member boldly claimed that the Strait of Hormuz would remain under Iran's control forever, regardless of outside pressure. Aliaddin Borajerdi also asserted that the Bab al-Mandab Strait would continue to remain under Yemeni control despite mounting regional tensions. Iran and America's Arab ally Oman held fresh discussions on July 25 over shipping security and maritime movement through the Strait of Hormuz. Iran's foreign ministry revealed that the discussions with Oman were constructive, adding that both sides made measurable progress during the latest round of talks. The Iran Foreign Ministry said, and I quote, "The 2 sides exchanged views on common principles and operational mechanisms for managing the safe passage of shipping in the Strait of Hormuz while respecting the sovereign rights of the 2 coastal states. The talks were useful and progress was made, and technical and political consultations between the 2 sides will continue. At present, there has been no change in the status of shipping through the Strait of Hormuz." End quote. Iran and Oman reportedly focused their discussions on reopening the Strait of Hormuz for uninterrupted commercial shipping and regional trade. However, the negotiations remain inconclusive despite Omani officials traveling to Iran on July 25 for the high-level consultations. On the very same day, Donald Trump reportedly ordered a complete halt to any further strikes being carried out by U.S. forces. Earlier, on July 19, Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi described the Strait of Hormuz as Tehran's own atomic bomb in a stark warning. Meanwhile, Iran and the United States have reportedly restarted secret negotiations to end the ongoing war. US and Iran reportedly sought a return to an interim ceasefire as indirect back-channel negotiations continued, AP reported. AP reported that mediators were discussing a compromise to restore commercial shipping through the Strait of Hormuz. According to AP, the proposal would allow Iran to oversee vessel transit while imposing fewer restrictions on maritime traffic. A regional official, speaking anonymously, said the discussions remained highly sensitive and had not been publicly acknowledged. The interim proposal reportedly aimed to reduce military tensions while keeping one of the world's busiest shipping routes operational. The same official described the current pause in US and Iranian strikes as an encouraging sign for diplomatic efforts. The temporary halt in hostilities reportedly gave mediators greater room to push negotiations aimed at preventing further escalation. AP reported that discussions over Hormuz shipping compromise were still ongoing, with no final agreement reached so far. Negotiators reportedly continued working to revive the ceasefire while trying to prevent another round of direct military confrontation. Iran's supreme leader praised Hezbollah as a solid rock against Israel in a message published by Tasnim news agency. Mujtaba Khamenei said Hezbollah's resilience had become an inspiration for free nations resisting oppression around the world. Khamenei described the defense of Hezbollah fighters as a long-term strategic policy that remained central to Iran's regional approach. Mujtaba Khamenei said, and I quote, "Now that Hezbollah of Lebanon, as the vanguard of jihadist groups, stands like a solid rock against the predatory onslaught of the Zionist regime, Israel, and its backers. This steadfastness has become an inspiring message for the free nations of the world." Unquote. Mujtaba Khamenei declared that preserving Lebanon's territorial integrity remained one of Iran's core strategic priorities. Khamenei said ending Israeli military attacks remained a key condition for reaching any future political agreement. He also praised communities across southern Lebanon for continuing to support Hezbollah despite months of conflict. In his letter to Hezbollah's leadership, Khamenei said there was no path forward except jihad and resistance. Khamenei said steadfastness and persistence on the path of resistance would ultimately lead to what he called divine victory. Tasnim reported that Khamenei's message was issued in response to a letter sent by Hezbollah's senior leadership.